All right, in this video, we'll look at how to create an array with a loop. So loops are very useful if you want to create a large array. You start off with an empty array. So this is the kind of the basic algorithm. You start off with an empty array, and then in your loop, you use the push method. And this push method allows us to add elements to the end of the array. So for example, this code here would, here, let's copy and paste it into my console here for a second. We create an identical array, which is empty. We loop 100 times, and we push this exclamation mark into it. And apparently it returns the number of things it pushed or times it looped, probably something like that. If we look at the identical array now, you'll see it is 100 elements where each element is an exclamation mark. Yay! Okay, so I wouldn't want to type that out. So this is a nice way, if we wanted this for some reason, maybe you're initializing an array to count different things, you want to initialize it to 0, right? You could push the number 0 in here instead of a string. And that would initialize the array. Okay, so you start off with the empty array, loop, and push things to it. You can do random numbers, right? Empty array again, loop 500 times, and push a random number into the array. Create an array from user input. Again, create an empty array, loop for however many times you want, prompt them for something, and push it to the array. You could do number patterns, right? We could go 0, counting by 2s, and you can push whatever this variable is. Okay, so you can initialize an array with a number. All right, so there's a lot of different uses of this. I thought we'd stick with our favorite colors theme that we've been doing, and we'll do this prompt one here. So let's just try that. When the button is clicked, I simply want to, well, we'll always want to start by, let's create a colors array, which will start empty. And then let's loop, let's just do 5 times. I can start at 1, less than or equal to 5, n plus plus. All right, so this n variable is just being used to count, so that we loop 5 times from 1 to 5. And then we just go colors array. So we take our empty array and then we push to it, which will add something to the end. And I could do this in one line, but let's do this. Let's go new color is assigned prompt, enter a color, and then we'll push new color like so. Okay, I think on the demo here, yeah, I put the prompt right inside of here, which works fine too, right? I could have just copied and pasted. But anyway, it'll just return whatever the user types in and push it to the array. All right, so let's try this 5 times here. So I go here, when I click the button, cool, red, green, blue, purple, orange. Cool, it did it 5 times, but I forgot to print out the colors array. So once the loop ends, let's go console.log, colors array, and then hopefully we'll be able to see it. Let's try that again. Red, green, blue, purple, orange, and there we go. We get our 5 colors that we typed in. Awesome. One thing I might show you here is that this is kind of limited in terms of the number of colors. I guess we could ask them how many colors do you want. But another way we could set this up is with a while loop. Let's try that. So I'm going to replace this with while, and I'm actually going to do while true. I'm going to set up this wonderful, like an infinite loop, right? While true, it's always going to be true, so it's always going to loop. But what I'll do is enter a color or done to quit, right? So they can type the word done. And then once they hit done, we'll stop the loop. So instead of calling this new color, because it might be the word done, let's just call this user input. And we'll just do an if statement. If user input is equal to done, then we'll break from our loop. Okay, we can use the keyword break, and that'll just say, hey, okay, I'm done this loop, boom, break out of it. Else, we want to do this. Else, we're going to assume that they typed in one of their favorite colors. And yeah, so empty array first. While true, so it's going to keep looping forever. If they never type done, it'll keep going. We'll prompt them for a color. If they type done, we'll break. Otherwise, we'll push it into the, the new color, we'll push the user input, which we're going to assume is a new color, into the array. And then it should repeat. We'll prompt. If it's done, we'll break. Otherwise, we'll push it. And we'll keep doing that. And once they had typed done, then we'll print out the array. Sure, let's try that. So we click. Okay, so we're into this while loop now. So say red, green, blue, purple, orange, cyan, magenta, violet. I forgot what colors I did. Coral, is that a thing? Burgundy, maroon, navy, sky blue, off-white. Okay, I think that's enough. So now I could keep going, right? But if I type done, then my loop ends, and I've got all those beautiful colors that I typed in. Okay, so anyway, like I said, the key concept is you start with an empty array, and then in your loop, you can push values to it. We looked at, there's lots of different types of loops you can use in order to get this done, and this is another example of how to do a while loop or a for loop, whatever you want. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.